What's up, Longhorns Nation? It's your boy G, and I'm back with another episode of your Longhorns Daily Blitz. What a weekend. We get to watch our football team walk in to Tuscaloosa against a top 5 opponent. Some would tell you they're the best team in college football. I would have to say that I think that they have the best roster in college football. Obviously, we all know about Nick Saban and what he's brought to the University of Alabama and all of the success that they have had. But it's not about those guys this week, right? It's about those Longhorns. Listen, last week I spoke of a couple of things that I thought were going to be very crucial if we had any sort of shot at all of going in there and taking care of business against Alabama. Much to my surprise, almost as if the coaching staff was listening, which they weren't. But hey, I'm still going to take credit for it anyways, right? But I spoke about several things that the Longhorns would have to do well in order for them to have a chance of success. And man, did they go in there and take care of business. That was the biggest win in our program's history, probably since the national championship game against USC. I think we had a great opportunity back when we had the great Colt McCoy quarterback in this team when we played Alabama and lost in the championship after he got hurt. What a massive victory. Everybody has said it already. I'm going to jump on the bandwagon too. Absolutely. Texas is back, baby. They went in there. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been on a Longhorn high. I've been crotch first at work. I've been really busy. There's been a lot going on. I've just been itching to get this video out to you guys, so bear with me. I have to take a couple of deep breaths every once in a while just to gather my thoughts. It's just been such a crazy weekend. But things that we spoke about that I was mentioning that the Longhorns were going to have to do in order to be successful, which was Milroe is a hell of an athlete. I didn't think that he had the best arm. I think he has struggled with accuracy issues. He struggled with making decisions. I thought that was going to be a huge part of our defense being able to control the offense for the Crimson Tide. I thought as long as we could keep him from beating us with his legs, try to keep him in a pocket, try to keep him contained, and don't let that guy get into the secondary, make people miss. I mean, he really reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson, although I think Lamar Jackson is a much better thrower of the football. But I definitely mentioned that it was going to be very important that they were able to contain him, and I think they did a fantastic job of doing that. I think the defense was led by our defensive line, which I told you guys was probably the biggest area of strength for this Longhorns football team, and man, did they play their asses off. Burke had a great game. Hill Jr. had a great game, and those two defensive tackles were just causing chaos all night long for that offensive line for the Crimson Tide, and they ultimately just they couldn't hold up. Our defensive ends just were continuing to get pressure on the quarterback. If that wasn't happening, we were getting pressure up the middle. Our secondary is a lot more experienced than they were last year. I saw a lot of growth in the secondary last year. I knew that they were going to be better, and I just didn't think that Milroe would be able to go out there and beat us with his arm. The Longhorns did an amazing job. They gave up a couple of plays, and that's going to happen throughout the course of a game. Fortunately for us, there were a few huge penalties that followed those scores for Alabama, so those didn't count. It probably would have made for a different ball game, but those are things that you can't control. I will say that I feel like the Longhorns did a very good job of being aggressive, but playing the game the right way. They tried to stay within the rules. They did a great job of keeping the yellow flags in the officials' pockets when they were out on defense. I was very impressed with that. So I think our secondary played great. The defensive line, they were amazing as well. All the way around, I think this defense deserves an A. Offensively, I told you guys, we have one of the best receiving corps in the nation. Xavier Worthy, again, I do believe is one of the top 3 receivers, and that guy is going to continue to make plays. Mitchell, welcome to the University of Texas, baby. I mean, that guy absolutely balled out. And then, of course, you had Ja'Tavion Sanders doing his thing. Again, one of the top tight ends in the nation. The Texas Longhorns have the best receiving core in all of college football. They are for real. Last year, we leaned a lot on Bijan Robinson. This year, we're going to do the exact opposite. It's going to be a lot of spread formations. We're going to throw the football around. We're going to put the ball in these guys' hands and let them do what they do. And not only did they do what they do, but they absolutely showed out on Saturday. So kudos to the wide receiver group. Our offensive line, much like the defensive line, way more experienced. A lot more experience. I can't tell you how much experience matters in college football. When you get to the NFL, it's a little easier to step in as a first-year player or a second-year player and really have an impact on a football team. But for some reason, experience is just very crucial for college football players. Our offensive line got a lot of good experience last year, and we've got some amazing players on the front. And they did a great job protecting the quarterback. They did a really good job of making run lanes when we need it. Brooks was able to hit a couple of big runs. Keelan Robinson is definitely going to make his plays. Quinn Ewers, that guy was absolutely amazing. I spoke about one of the things that he really needed to work on in the offseason was the deep ball and his accuracy and touch on the deep ball. And he missed a couple of shots. That's going to happen. I thought overall he did a fantastic job throwing the football. I mean, this guy has matured. He still has the intangibles. He's cut the mullet. I feel like he's taking football and life a lot more serious this year. He knows Arch Manning is nipping at his heels. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to enter the draft if he's not a first-round pick. Quinn Ewers played amazing. I think we have a lot easier game this week. We're playing Wyoming. Not to say that it's going to be a pushover. It's very easy to ride an emotional high into another week and maybe, drop the ball a little bit or take a dump on yourself and have a little bit of a letdown when you're riding such a high. So hopefully this team will stay grounded. I think that they're going to stay hungry. I think that they're going to take care of business against Wyoming. I'll have a video coming up previewing that game. I just want to hop on and say hello to you guys and put a video out for you. I told you it's going to be a fantastic year, Longhorns Nation. Kansas State, we have a few tough opponents to go throughout the Big 12, but for this week, we're going to celebrate, baby. Texas is back. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I hope you have a great week. I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Thank you for taking the time to check me out. Drop down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. I love to talk with you guys. Hook 'em horns. Let's go.